Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to the channel Mathematics by Larry Panjwani. Today we are starting IGCSE in O-level mathematics and starting with the chapter numbers. In numbers we will start with some basic thing, types of numbers, square number, and first starting to the topic. First we need to understand some important point to always remember. So in IGCSE or O-level mathematics you must know these important points. First mean product, mean multiply, sum mean addition, you must know these points. Difference means subtraction. So these three words you must know about it. Now for the symbols, we all know about this symbol, just revising it. Equal to, not equal to, approximate, less than equal to, greater than equal to, therefore, and square roots. So you must know these things. These are the very important things. Okay, now starting with the topic. So we are starting with types of numbers. Okay, so complex number is not included, so we will just look these things. What are these things? So first you need to understand the natural numbers. First we will understand what is natural numbers. Natural numbers is denoted by n. Denotation is not required, but you just know what is natural number. So natural numbers are those numbers which start from 1 and so on, they are moving. So this is known as natural numbers. Then we have whole number. The difference between natural and whole numbers are very tiny. Whole number are those numbers start from 0. So 0 is also included in whole number. So there is only one digit difference between natural and whole number. Then we have integers. All the numbers, whether it's negative or positive, is known as integers. So integers we have 0 is a neutral. There is no sign in 0. Positive 1 or negative 1, positive 1 or positive 2, and so on. All the numbers, whether it's positive or negative, considered as integers. Okay, so and the next we have rational and irrational number. That's a very important point. What is rational number and what is irrational numbers? So first we need to understand what is rational numbers. So rational numbers are those numbers which can be expressed as integer or a fraction. You can write down the definition. Rational numbers can be written as an integer or a fraction of two integers. Okay, so we can write rational numbers like this: p upon q. For example, p and q are integer numbers, so we can write, so rational number can be expressed or written as fraction of two integers or an integer number. Remember that q must not be equal to 0, because if the 0 is in denominator then it will be infinity. So remember that rational number can be written as an integer or a fraction of two integers. There is a very basic definition of a rational number. In rational number we have two types of rational number, we can say. One we have terminating decimal, and the second we have recurring. Recurring mean repeating anything. So what does these two mean? Recurring and terminating decimal. For example, I am giving you an example to understand what is these two mean. So for example, terminating, I have a number 3 divided by 10, so I will get the answer 0.3. If a number is completely divisible after a decimal point, then it is considered as terminating decimal. Okay, if a number is completely divisible after decimal point. For example, I will give one more example. 325 divided by 1000, for example. So our answer will be 0.325. So a number is completely divisible after decimal point is considered as a terminating decimal. What is recurring? Recurring means repeating. Okay, recurring means repeating. For example, 1 divided by 3. So if you put 1 divided by 3 in calculator, you will get 0.3333333. So you can see number is not completely divisible, but the number is repeating again and again. That's why it's called recurring decimal. So how we can write recurring decimal? There is two way to write these types of number. The one way is you can write like this: 0.3, and you can put dot on the top of the number, so it means that the number is repeating. Or you can write like this as well, 0.3, and you can put a bar here. So these are the two way to write the recurring decimal fraction. So I hope you understand what is rational number. Rational number are those number which can be written as a fraction, and then we have two types, terminating decimal and recurring decimal. Terminating mean a number is completely divisible after decimal point, and the recurring mean the number cannot be completely divisible but it's repeating, okay, repeating a number or some pattern. Now we have irrational number. Irrational number are same. Irrational number are complete reciprocal. Irrational number cannot be expressed as a fraction. You can see this is the example they have given us. So irrational number are those number which cannot be expressed in fraction. Root 5, root 2, pi, these cannot be written in a fraction form. Most of the students have some query that pi, we use the value of pi as 22 upon 7 in our school or somewhere. So 22 upon 7 is basically a approximate value of pi, it's not an accurate value of pi. So that's why pi is considered as an irrational number, not a rational number, because 22 upon 7 is basically a fraction number, and the irrational number definition says that we cannot express as a fraction of two integers. Okay, so I hope classification number is completely clear to you. Complex number is not the part of the syllabus, so it will not, I will not explain you this. So I hope everything is clear now. Now we are moving toward the next. Oh, we have some more. So there exist other numbers, namely even, odd, prime, composite numbers. So even numbers, the number which are exactly divisible by 2 are called even numbers. These can be positive or negative integers such as minus 42, minus 36, minus 12, 2, 4, 8, so on. So the number that can be easily divisible are called even numbers. Odd numbers, the number which cannot be divisible by 2 are called odd numbers. These can be both positive and negative again. Negative 3, negative 15, 7, 9, these all are numbers which is not divisible by 2. Prime numbers, very important. Prime numbers are the number that have two factors only, 1 and the number itself, that can be divisible by 1 and by itself is known as prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, so on, these are all considered as prime number because these number can only be divisible by 1 or by itself. Now what is composite number? A composite number is a number that has more than two factors. Example 4 is a composite number because 4 can be divisible by 1, 2 and 4. Okay, so a number which have more than two factors, so we can say that it's a composite number. A number which have two factors, 1 and by itself, is known as prime numbers. So I hope everything is clear, no confusion now. So now what we have is square numbers. Now we need to understand what are square numbers. These are very simple basic things, you must know about these things. So if I define a square number is the result of multiplying a number by itself. Square number is the result of multiplying a number by itself. So this is known as a square number. So for example, 2 square means 4. How I get 4? Definitely a number is the result of multiplying a number by itself. 2 square means you have to multiply 2 by 2. So 2 to the 4. That's how we get 2 square. So you must know the square of 1 till 15 at least. Okay, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, and 5 square is 25, and so on. I will share this lecture as well. You will get the link in the description of this lecture file, and I will upload one picture as well about the squares and the cube numbers. You need to remember that square and cube number. Okay, so now what are the cube numbers? Cube number is a number result multiplied by itself twice. Now listen, it's very little bit different. A number is the result of multiplying a number by itself twice. For example, cube mean 3. Okay, first thing. So for example, I have a number 2 raised to the power 3. Now it's written in 3, so I will multiply 3 times. So the reference say that a number multiplied by itself, this is a number multiplied by itself 2 times. So 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. So the 2 cube is 8, then 3 cube is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27, and then 4 cube is 64. So this is so on. Okay, and 5 cube is 125 and so on. As I told you, I will share the picture, you will get to know about, you will remember that. Do some practice, it will be remembered to you. Okay, now what are square root and cube root? There's a very detailed question we have in further lectures about. Now I am just giving the basic concept of square root and cube root. A square root of a value is the number that when multiplied by itself equal to that value. Now what does it mean? For example, first we need to know, as I from in the starting of the topic I told you, you can see this is called a square root. Okay, now what is square root? So this is known as square root. In mathematical, this symbol is called radical. Okay, so this is square root of any number. For example, I have a number 16. For example, I have a number 16. So if the number written in the square root is a square of any number, okay, if the number written on the square root is a square of any number, then it will be equal to that number. What does it mean? For example, the 4 square is 16, so I can write like this. I know that 16 is a 4 square. That's why I told you, you have to remember the squares and a cube till 15 at least. Okay, so for example, 16 is a square of 4, so I can write like this. Now square and square root always cancel out, so the answer will be 4. So if the number that is written in a square root is a square of any number, that will be equal to that number. How this square root and square cancel out? Mathematically, if I say when we remove this square, it will give us power 1 upon 2. So this will be cancelled out and the answer will be 4. So that's how it's happening. Okay, so you must know the basic concept of a square root. Now what is cube root? So this is square root. If I want to make a cube root, this is known as cube root. If I write an index, this is called index. If I write 3, if there is no index, this means that will be square root, the radical will be square root. If there is index like 3 is written on it, it will be called a cube root. So now how we can solve cube root? For example, the number is 27 written on it, so we need to remember that 27 is the cube of 3, we know that. So I will write like this, 3 cube, and again this will be cancelled out and the answer will be 3. So mathematically how it will solve? Now understand, when I remove cube root, the power will become 1 upon 3. When I remove square root, the power is 1 upon 2. Now the index is 3, that's why it will become 1 upon 3. 3 will be cancelled out, so we have 3. So I hope everything is clear in this. There is no confusion. If you have any confusion, you can ask me on comment. And if you have any question and you have not able to solve it, I will share you the Gmail address in my description. You can send me that question, write your name. Inshallah, I will try to make a video for that question and explain you thoroughly. Okay. Now, what is reciprocal? Very basic thing. What is reciprocal? So a reciprocal of a number is a result of dividing one by that number. What does that mean, dividing by number? So we just need to flip the number. We can say flipping the numbers. What does it mean? For example, the reciprocal of 3 is 1 upon 3. In denominator there is no number, this means 1. So when I flip the number, it will become 1 upon 3. So this is called reciprocal. The very basic thing, reciprocal. For example, the reciprocal of 2 upon 3 is, when I flip, it will become 3 upon 2. That's it. This is called a reciprocal. So I hope everything is clear right now. There is no confusion to you now. Oh, what is multiple? I hope you all know what is multiple and factor, but revising it. A multiple in the math are the number you get when you multiply a certain number by an integer. For example, the multiple of 5 are 10, 15, 20, 20. So for example, we know that multiples, but I'm just explaining what is multiple. A multiple basically a number that get when you multiply a certain number by an integer. For example, 5 multiply 1 will be 5, 5 to the 10, 5 3 the 15. So these are the multiples. So now we have some example question. What are the first three multiple of 11? So we need to write the multiples of 11. 11, 22 and 33 we have. 11 1 the 11, 11 2 the 22, 11 3 the 33 we have multiple. Now next question, is 300 is the multiple of 12? Now we need to check, is 300 the multiple of 12? So now we need to divide that number, because multiple, what does multiple mean? If I divide that number by its multiple, it will be completely divisible. For example, I get 10. If I divide that 10 by 5, because we have this multiple, so it will give us answer 2. It's completely divisible. So now I will divide that number 12 and 300 to 12 to the 24. We have 6 left, 0, 12, 5 the 60 we have. So it is completely divisible. So we can say that yes, 300 is a multiple of 12. So I hope everything is clear in multiples. Now the next we have, oh sorry for that, what we have now, we have factors. Then we move towards some past papers question related to the topic we have done in this class. Okay, we will do the topic and solve some past paper question related to that. Now we have factors. A factor is a number that divides exactly into another number with no remainders. So simple definition, a factor is a number that divides exactly into another number with no remainder. 1 is a factor of every number, and the largest factor of any number is the number itself. For example, factor of 12 and 20. I need to write down the factor of 12, which can divide 12 exactly. So I have 1, as the point 1 says that 1 is a factor of every number. We have 2, because 12 divided by 2 will give us 6, no remainder left. 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4, no remainder. 4, 12 divided by 4 will give us 3, no remainder. So it's a very important, because with the no remainder. 6 table, and then the last one is 12, as the second part says the largest factor of any number is number itself, and you can see numbers itself. So this is known as factor. I hope everything is clear to you. If you have any confusion, you can comment on me. I will inshallah try to answer you as soon as possible. Now moving towards some questions. I hope everything is clear right now, no confusion. And now moving towards the question, past paper question. These are all the past paper question, recent past paper question, not really late past paper, the recent past paper question. So you need to understand the basic concept of that questions. Question number 1. Two of the factors of 50 are square number. One of these square number is 1. So two of the factors of 50 are square number, and one of these square number is 1. 1 is already given us. 1 is the square of the factor of 50. So we know the one number, that is 1. Now we need to find out? Find out the other square number that is a factor of 50. So we know the definition of factor. We have done this. So you know that this point, the largest factor of a number is the number itself. So this means that the number that is factor of 50 must be lesser than 50. Okay, this is a very basic thing you have to know about. So this means that the number, the square number that is a factor of 50 must be lesser than 50. So lesser than 50, we have very few square numbers. We know that we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36 and 49. So we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36 and 4. These are the square number we have, less than 50 square number we have. So we need to find out the factor of 50. So 4 is not a factor, and 9 is not, 16 not, so we have 25. So the next number is 25. So the answer of this question is 25. This is the 1 mark question, so you will get the 1 marks for this. So this is a very simple question. You must know the basic concepts. Okay, now moving towards the next question. Okay, write down the two cube numbers between 10 and 100. We need to write down the cube, so that's why I told you that you must know the cube 1 till 15 at least, cube and squares. So that's why I'm saying, so we need to write down the two cube numbers. So starting, we have 2 cube is 8, we have, okay, and the 3 cube is 27, and the 4 cube is 64. Okay, so these are the cube number we have till 10 to 1 till 100. I write it down. We need to know the cube numbers, that is till 10 till 100. Two cube number that 10 till 100. So we have two numbers 27 and 64. So the answer will be 27 and 64, because the range they have given us 10 to 100. Okay, so we have two cube numbers. 3 cube is 27 and 4 cube is 64. Now the next, write down the two prime numbers between 30 and 40. So if you know what are prime number, the prime number that are divisible by 1 or by itself. So now we have number between 30 and 40, between. So we have 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So now 31 is divisible by 1 and by itself. So 31 is basically a prime number. 32 is not a prime number, it's considered a composite number. 33 also composite number. 34 is composite. 35, 36. Now 37 is also a prime number because it is only divisible by 1 and by itself. 38 is also composite, and 39 also composite. So we have 31 and 37. So if you know what is prime number, then it will be very easy for you, and it's a 1 mark question that comes in paper 1. So now next question. Now the question 1 part, I add a bracket to the equation in the answer space to make it correct. So they are saying there is the equation they have given us. We need to write down the we need to put a bracket on it to make them equal. So you can see they have given us this equation and its answer 16. So I hope you know about the BODMAS, bracket open, divide, multiply, addition, subtraction. So we need to make it 16. For example, first, this is a very simple question these are. So if I put a bracket here, for example, so we need to solve bracket first. So 6 7s we have 42. So we can see that it's not possible it will become 16. So this means that we have to remove the bracket from this side. This is not a correct bracket. Okay, so now where we put bracket, for example, if I put bracket here, 4 plus 6 will be 10, 10 multiplied by 7 will become 70, and 70 minus 5 will not become 16. So again the bracket is wrong. So now again we need to change. So we have just one option left. We have to try here. So 4 plus 6. Now first we need to solve bracket. 7 minus 5 will be 2. So 6 2s are 12, and 12 plus 4 will be 16. So this means you have to put a bracket here. So I hope everything is clear. There is no confusion in this question. Very simple question. Now the next question is very important to understand. The question is given that n is an integer and n is bigger than 1. So first we need to highlight this point. It's a very important point. N is bigger than 1. Whether each statement in the table is true or false. For each statement, write true or false in the table. If you write false, give an example to justify your decision. Okay, so there are some conditions they have given to us, and we need, or we can statement they've given to us. We have to write down true or false. If we write false, we have to give some example as well. So the first statement we have, n cube is bigger than 1. So if I consider n is equal to 2, because they say that n must be bigger than 1. So if I consider let n is equal to 2 and put here, so it will become 2 cube is bigger than 1. This means 2 cube is 8. 8 is bigger than 1. So this is the correct statement. We can put n is equal to 3 as well. Sorry, I have put it n is equal to 2. I can put n is equal to 3 as well, so it will become 3 cube, that will become 27, and 27 is also bigger than 1. This means that the statement is exactly correct, so we will write true and we don't need to write example. Now the next is 1 upon n is bigger than 1 upon n square. Again I will consider n is equal to 2, so 1 upon 2 is bigger than 1 upon 2 square. Okay, so 2 square is 4, so 1 divided by 2 will be 0.5, and 1 divided by 4 will be 0.25, because 2 square is 4, so 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. So this statement is also correct. We can try one more value as well. If I try 3, so 1 divided by 3 will be 0.3 and 1 divided by 9 will be 0.1. So we have tried two values, so the statement is true. Again we have a statement, true statement. We don't need to write example. Now we have last, n minus 1 n plus 3 is always odd. So they say that it's always odd, so we need to check it's correct or not. So first I will consider n is equal to 2, so 2 minus 1 and 2 plus 3. So 2 minus 1 will be 1, multiply by 2 plus 3 will be 5. So if I take n is equal to 2, so it is giving us a 5, that is odd, so it's correct, but we need to check one more value. Okay, if I take n is equal to 3, so what it become? If I take n is equal to 3, so 3 minus 1 and 3 plus 3, so 3 minus 1 will be 2 and 3 plus 3 will be 6, so 2 6 are 12. Now you can see as I change the value of n, now the number become even. So this means that that's false statement, and you have to write this example. You have to write this thing in this example form. You have to write the example here. Okay, so this n is equal to 3 example must be written on here, written here. Okay, so I hope everything is clear. So we have done another question. Now next question we have a square number that is a factor of 75. So again, a number is a square and is a factor of 75. This means that the number must be lesser than 75. In lesser than 75, the numbers we have, a square number we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49 and 64. So we need to find the factor. What is factor? With 0 remainder we have. So if I solve using 75 divided by 4, it's not possible. 75 divided by 9, again not 16, so we have 25. 75 divided by 25 will be 3, so this means that the correct answer will be 25. So this will be our final answer. A cube number that is multiple of 224, sorry, multiple of 24, that's it's not an easy one. We need to know the cube numbers first, and as I told you in the earlier lecture that you must know the cube number 1 to 15. That's very important. You must know the cube numbers. That's why I told you. So we need to find out that number. So there are some trick to find out that number, because there are a lot of cube number you will get, because in the previous factor we know that the number must be lesser than that number, so it will be easier for us. But in this we need to find out and do some steps to find out that number. So for example, I have a 24. If I solve 24 So it gives me 2 cube multiplied by 3 1, because we have 2 3, so 2 cube multiplied by 3 1. So as I required a number that is cube. Okay, now listen to me carefully. Cube number that is multiple of 24. So when I solve 24, I got this. So now how I will find the cube number? Listen to me. 2 raised to the power 3. The power is cube, so I will not do anything with that. But you can see 3 has a power 1. So I have to make a power cube, so I will write 3 raised to the power 3. Okay? The simple step that you have to make a power cube. Okay? Because we need a cube number. Now just solve that. 2 cube is 8 and 3 cube is 27. Just multiply that. 8 multiplied by 27, 216, and the correct answer is 216. That's it. That's a very simple question. Just remember that. Just we solve 24, we get 2 raised to the power 3 and 3 raised to the power 1. If you want to make a cube number, make a power cube. 2 has already power cube, so we don't need to change anything, and 3 has a power 1, so we make 3 raised to the power 3, and when we solve it, we get 216. That will be the multiple of 24. Okay, now next question. 691, they have given the 3 card above can be rearranged to make 3-digit number. For example, 916, they have given you example as well, and arrange the 3 card to make. So first what they said, we have to arrange the card to make something. So first is the 3-digit number that is closest to 650. So I have to make a 3-digit number that is closest to 650. Okay, now 650 mean I have to first write 6. I will not write 9 on the second digit, so I have to make 1 and I have to make 9. So that's it. Very simple concept. There is no confusion in this. 619, we have a number. Now a 3-digit number that is multiple of 7. That's it. Now we need to find out a 3-digit number that is multiple of 7. So that's not very easy. So I have 3 numbers, 6, 9 and 1. I start with 1 first, the smallest number. For example, I take 1, 6, 9. Okay, 1, 6 and 9. I take 2 number 169. So 169 divided by 7. If I divide by 7, I will get a decimal. If you divide, it will not be divisible. Okay, we can try by dividing. So this means 169 is not a number. Now 196. So 196, if we divide 196 by 7, so what we will get? 7 and 196. 7 to the 14. We have 5 and 6. 7 8 the 56. So that's what we got. So the answer is 196, because this is a 3-digit number that is multiple of 7. Now the last one, a 3-digit number that is a square number. So again, I am telling you again and again this point that you must know that squares and a cubes of 1 till 15. So if you know that the 13 is square is 196, so you will straight away write 169. Oh, sorry, 169. The square of 13 is 169, so you will straight away write 169. You will get 1 marks for that. So now the last 3 questions we have. So these questions are homework for you. So you will try that question. Very easy question. If you face difficulty in solving these questions, you can comment me. I will make another video and will explain you these questions as well. So don't worry about it. Try these last 3 slides question. This is homework for you. I hope everything is clear to you. Inshallah, next video we will do more concept of numbers. Allah Hafiz.